I actually acquired this place back in the late 1940s. I think when they first moved here, I don't think they had electricity. Mom would bring us out, or grandfather would bring us out. We'd actually either go fishing in the creek back to the east of the farm place, or fishing in the ponds. He grew a lot of peanuts here on the farm, along with watermelons, lots of watermelons. And he would take the watermelons and bring them up. All of his kids would come out and set them on the hay trailer, line them up, and cut them all in half, and tell us all to dig in.
After we installed the solar on our truck shed, Curtis Trivett and I were discussing some of Brazos' options on power supply and our desire to be involved more and understand more some of this, some of these other energy sources besides traditional.
The solar project that we installed on our truck shed in 2009 was the first indication that we saw that the price of installing solar was declining dramatically. We shared that information with our NRECA contacts through Cooperative Research Network, and that sort of opened everybody's eyes to the fact that maybe solar was very quickly going to be competitive with our retail rates.
In 2014, we started looking at solar farms and solar as a whole more seriously because the price had come down and the demand seemed to be going up for it. So our senior staff always does a great job looking at and evaluating systems for our company, and they went out and did another good job at it, brought it to the board.
We need to turn over every stone that we come across. We've had members and customers that ask us about what we're doing for the environment.
After quite a bit of discussion in the boardroom about how we could provide some kind of solar product to the members that couldn't afford to have those on their rooftop. Maybe couldn't afford, maybe their home wasn't suitable to have rooftop solar. Maybe there were restrictions as to whether those could be placed on their rooftop. So CoServ decided to make the investment on behalf of those members and allow them to have an opportunity to participate.
And our goal was to try to construct, install, build a system that would be at a lower cost than what our members could do for themselves if they installed it on the roof. Well, it took a lot longer, to me, a lot longer to get ready to build the system than it did to actually build the system. There were quite a few challenges in trying to find the tract of land that we could purchase to build the site on. There were some permitting issues early on, that we had some challenges we had with a couple of the sites that we preliminarily looked at.
And CoServ is unique. It's a 501c12 cooperative, and we do have a for-profit natural gas distribution utility that provides equity distributions up to an investment subsidiary that we have that was able to pay for the solar community project without any debt or financing. We also have the benefit of the income from that for-profit natural gas distribution utility that allows us, you'll hear it called as a tax appetite. It allows us to take advantage of the 30% investment tax credit.
Land prices around here can be fairly expensive, so we needed to find a location that made economical sense. We also needed a location that was close to CoServ's existing electrical facilities, and so we settled on a location in Krugerville that fit all of our needs.
The Sunday project is a collaborative project between Department of Energy and National Rural Electric Cooperative Association. And the project was to provide engineering support for cooperatives who were participating in the project, CoServ being one of those cooperatives. But it was to create a set of standard templates, standard engineering designs for constructing a 1 megawatt solar system.
As the economies of scale grow, the pricing looks better. So we thought with the land that we had available and the pricing of moving from a 1 megawatt to a 2 megawatt system, that it was a good choice to move forward with 2 megawatts rather than the 1 megawatt.
And so we basically followed the design along with a few minor modifications, and you basically have what you have today. On the solar side, we have 8,448 315 watt Solar World solar panels. We also have 4 500 kW advanced energy inverters. There's about 50 rows worth of panels on a little less than 16 acres, and there's approximately 30 plus miles of wire.
Our 2 megawatt solar system ties directly into our distribution network. So all of the energy produced by the solar facility flows directly into our distribution system and offsets wholesale power purchases that we have to purchase to supply the needs of our members.
This project came together pretty rapidly, and we had so many employees that embraced this and took this project on. It's been a really fun project to work on. You know, it's somewhat cutting edge, it's new and exciting, and all of our guys and gals that worked on this just jumped in there with both feet and took this project on. And I would say we put it together in a pretty fast time frame compared to what most folks do.
There was a lot of balancing act that went on with this construction site. Based on the fact that we took part in end of the year pricing on several of our components, that meant shipping was earlier than we actually anticipated. And so we had to get the site ready for 8,448 panels to show up. And that took quite a bit of an effort to clear the site, get the road in, get security up, and all that prior to when we were actually going to start construction. The record amount of rainfall we received this year also caused a lot of issues for us. We had to enable erosion control at an extremely fast pace. So we had to haul in large rock and build rock dams and work with several contractors to be creative. When all the panels started showing up, it was kind of like a reality check that it's here and it's starting and this is it. And then of course I was like, oh wow, I've got to get a lot of stuff done in a short amount of time. I've got to get security up, and now I've got several $1 million worth of inventory sitting on site. How am I going to be able to sleep at night worrying about all that for the next several months while it's not installed?
I guess my first thought was, you know, here's a peanut farm that's now growing solar panels.
But what we decided to do was to allow our members to purchase blocks of kilowatt hours. And so, for instance, if a member purchased a 400 kilowatt hour block, they would pay the flat rate for the first 400 kilowatt hours. Then all of the kilowatt hours above the 400 kilowatt hour block would be paid for at a standard residential rate. If they move from one residence to another, as long as they're on CoServ system, they can take their energy blocks with them. It's month to month, there's no contract, there are no upfront fees, no termination fees, so they can stay on it as long as they think it's a good deal for them.
We're listening and trying to provide the options that our membership is wanting and needing.
It's important for CoServ to be a leader in renewables. It gives us a new mix to our portfolio of renewables, and the time's now.
And with us being one of the first co-ops to actually design, construct, and complete a solar farm, we were able to learn firsthand a lot of experiences and then share those experiences with other co-ops.
Well, I think it was very exciting to have a project that we received national recognition for.
You know, for CoServ to be around since 1937 and the Ike Byram acquiring this place in the late 40s. And as important as electricity was at that point in time, things kind of reverse. And the rural area is serving, you know, the greater population, that something I would have never seen come.
I feel good about it. It's nice. I mean, I can tell people used to raise peanuts here, and now we're producing electricity. Y'all producing electricity here. I think y'all have done a wonderful job.
It really goes to the foundation of why CoServ and cooperatives were formed 75 years ago. It's folks coming together to purchase their power from this solar farm that they can't do individually. So I think it's a perfect reflection of what being a cooperative is all about.
So we are now in the solar farm business. Proud to say we have 16 acres out in Krugerville, and it's a beautiful solar farm array, so we're very proud of it.